John Moran is going to be something special. He's a consolation prize. R.J. Barrett, consolation prize. Cam Reddish, consolation prize. We want Zion!
Many months later.
Zion Williamson. He looks fat. I saw a belly. But you look like you showed up to the game having just ate a buffet. Not something from the buffet. I said the buffet.
As I'm sure you guys know, when it comes to the first overall pick in any draft, they have immense hype expectations no matter how good their draft class is or how good they are as an individual. And looking at guys like Anthony Bennett and Markelle Fultz with the first overall pick, those guys definitively are the worst first overall picks of this era. As in the NBA, they weren't even good NBA players, even average NBA players.
Fultz will take.
Hands up!
Now, of course, for Philly and Cleveland, those picks, a big swing and a miss. But even worse than picks like that is someone like a Ben Simmons, as Ben Simmons, unlike those guys, achieved immense success in the NBA, was an all-star All-NBA player, and got comparisons to LeBron and Magic.
Hey, LeBron. Ben Simmons is here. We're all good.
Simmons, shot clock winding down. Over Williams, air ball.
We're all good.
In some ways, Ben Simmons achieving success then falling off a cliff is actually worse than Fultz and Bennett, who were never good in the first place. And looking at someone following the Ben Simmons path, we have Zion Williamson. And Zion, just like Simmons, achieved success in the NBA very, very early. But just like Simmons, fell off a cliff for various reasons. And looking at Zion during his college days, heck, even his high school days, this guy was must-see TV, he was box office, and really every NBA fan knew his name by his first game at Duke. And of course, while at Duke, took the world by storm, reverse windmills, fast break dunks, even block shots like this one. I mean, Zion at Duke was a force to be reckoned with and the clear-cut first overall pick. And looking at that year's draft lottery, the Knicks actually had the best odds to get Zion at that first overall pick. And when they fell to 3, Knicks fans were absolutely pissed. Yes, they still got RJ, who's a very good player even now, but they missed Zion, who was Barkley, Sean Kemp, kind of rolled into one.
Especially on the offensive end, Sir Charles, similar to the likes of Charles Barkley. Last year at Duke, Williamson led the ACC with over 3 offensive boards per game.
I've never seen a player like Zion Williamson, and there never has been one in basketball. There's never been this type of athleticism, agility, nimbleness of feet with his 45-inch vertical, all in a package that's 6'7", 285 pounds.
He was special.
Back then, saying Zion would be Barkley 2.0, I mean, that wasn't a stretch, was not outrageous. And Zion's one of those guys who back then, it didn't matter where he went. Memphis, the Knicks, New Orleans, he's going to be great wherever he went, or at least that's what we thought at the time. As looking at Zion in current day, this guy, time and time again, disappoints and underwhelms. As looking at the cycle of Zion, here's how it starts every single year. Summertime Zion, best shape of his life in the gym, looks shredded, absolutely ripped, ready to roll. Season starts, he's playing well, looks healthy, you know, typical Zion. Then 10, 15 games later, gets banged up, hurt here, starts missing time, and of course, he's out. That right there is the cycle of Zion Williamson and the cycle of being a Pelicans fan.
Please, make it stop.
And like I said earlier, Zion and Ben Simmons, they are very, very similar, not in games, but their career arcs, as both these guys early on achieved success. Zion 3 years ago was an all-star starter in the Western Conference. 27 points per game, absurd shooting splits. He was fantastic. He had arrived. Now, since that all-star start, Zion Williamson, scoring average gone down every single year, 27, 26, 23, now about 22 and a half. I hate to say it, but Zion, he might have peaked in year 2 at age 20, as since then, hasn't been healthy, and his overall game really hasn't made any strides or drastic improvements in any major area. In a lot of ways, Zion, the more talented Ben Simmons. Of course, a lefty, physical force of nature, was an all-star, but fell off a cliff very, very fast.
It don't go down.
Robert, it goes down.
No, it don't.
It do go down.
Oh!
And to think about this, for Zion's career so far, 6 total years, has there been any iconic moments, great moments, or just memorable moments of Zion's career? I mean, there's a couple of dunks, plays here, plays there, where Zion made his name known, but in terms of making a mark in the NBA, Zion hasn't done that in the slightest. The closest he came to doing that was last year during the play-in tournament, as versus the Lakers dropped 40, and that game looked unstoppable, like Duke Zion. Now, of course, the cycle of Zion, he's playing well, so what's he due for? An injury.
Oh my God! Oh, I can't go on, but just slipped out. I think he's done. I'm done.
A lot of fans are asking nowadays, why is the NBA struggling? And you can look at three-point shots, Adam Silver, a lot of reasons. But one of the big-time reasons is someone like Zion Williamson, a marquee player in a small market, not being available for his team and always being hurt or sidelined. As looking at Zion's 6-year career, he's played a total of 190 games. Games missed, 227. Out of the 400-plus Pelicans games in the Zion era, he's only played 45% of those games. From a pure business perspective, entertainment perspective, Zion Williamson being a box office player, missing that many games, I mean, that kills a franchise and is a major black mark on the league as a whole. And where I think Zion kind of gets saved in all this, he's playing in Louisiana. Not a basketball state, in New Orleans, not a basketball city. If he was in Chicago, Boston, Philly, Los Angeles, really any big-time market, this guy would get roasted 24/7 for being hurt, out of shape, and is not available for his team. But luckily for Zion, he's down there in New Orleans.
See, nobody cares.
And look, nowadays playing the social media age, being in a small market, for interest, popularity, just recognition, doesn't really mean much. And the one question for Zion Williamson that I don't have for Ja Morant is he loves basketball and is dedicated to the game. For all Ja's mistakes and missteps, I don't think his love for the game has ever been questioned. For someone like Zion, I actually wonder, does he love basketball and love the NBA? As from what I've seen, it's a resounding no. And think about this, if you're one of Zion's teammates, a Brandon Ingram, a Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, even a CJ, the past 3 to 4 years of your career have been wasted on Zion Williamson not being healthy. I mean, look at this lineup right here for the Pelicans' only ESPN televised game versus the Warriors. This lineup: Ingram, Trey Murphy, Daniel Tice, Javonte Green, Elfrid Payton. If that doesn't scream I'm changing the channel immediately, I don't know what does. If you want to know why ratings are down, it's not some grand conspiracy, some enigma wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in a riddle. It's simply players who are superstars are not playing as much as they should. Case in point with Zion Williamson. This guy, never healthy, always out of shape, and for the Pelicans, always let him down. So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. Drew Brees, the Saints quarterback, who's been retired for a couple of years now, has a more recent playoff win in the NFL than Zion Williamson in the NBA. That's how embarrassing, disappointing, and downright pathetic Zion's been in his NBA career. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.